3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, May 10th, 2018. A lot has changed in the last few days in regards to Litecoin, obviously. However, if you've been watching these videos, you know we've kind of been anticipating this. So it's not really that surprising. Let's start the video on Twitter. And by the way, if you don't have a Twitter or you're not following me on Twitter, please do, because I try and post regularly over there, even on days when I can't upload a video. I'm trying to, track price and just other things on Twitter. So follow me over there if you're not. But I posted earlier, if you've been following here on or YouTube, we've been anticipating a visit to the top of the triangle for the last 5 days, because we have. I think it was on May 5th when we talked about this. Since then, we've slowly been confirming this. I'm looking out for bullish bounce off 145 to 150 channel, and that's kind of where we are. And I was kind of referencing a week or a tweet that I did. Yep, it was May 5th, talking about being cautious for a revisit to the top of the triangle when we were up here, 170 area. So have it circled there. 5 days later, here we are. And it happened. So let's talk about it, I guess. There's a couple important things I think I wanted to talk about in this video. That's why I hopped on real quick just to do a video. But first off, let's start on the weekly. I just want to remind you of a couple pretty important things, because it's just a nice clear picture of these lower highs that we have. There's a lower high there, and then we have these higher lows, which we have there. So this consolidation pattern, it has been happening for a while. We've been talking about it for a while. And so far, nothing has really surprised us. I want to underline this entire video with this 110 area. I know a lot of you might be concerned right now. I'm not at all, but if I were to be concerned, it would be at the 110 or lower. It would be us forming a new low. That's when I would kind of shift probably the tone of the video and probably have different talking points. But right now, I'm completely fine, especially beings. I don't know if you've watched these videos for a while, but for a long time I've been talking about when we finally break the triangle. Me personally, I like to look for a revisit to the top of the triangle for support. And then from there, I like to see a bounce off of that triangle. And that's like a way more conservative approach. Some people, they'll get a break through a triangle and they'll start buying in for a possible longer term break. More conservative types like to confirm a breakout by revisiting the top of the triangle and then a bounce. It's just a more conservative approach. So when talking about technical analysis and looking at charts, that's my approach, because I'm way more of a conservative type of investor. Now, with that being said, I do want to say dollar cost averaging is a huge part of my approach with Litecoin especially. So no matter if we're up here at 180 or we're here at 147 or we're down here at 125, I'm pretty much always buying Litecoin. And I wanted to talk about this on the 4 hour, and we'll talk about a couple things. Actually, before we do, I do want to point this out. This is probably one of the most important parts of the video in terms of where we are on the stock RSI. We aggressively went through, we're in the oversold area. You can see us down there, and even on the weekly, you can see we had this upward momentum that just like hit a wall, and we're right in the middle on the stock RSI on the weekly, and kind of same thing on the RSI, right in the middle here. We're not below that 40 line, which is where we always want to stay above. But so I wanted to point those oscillators out because they're important in terms of how's the market going to react at this point. And so even short term, I'm starting to, now that we've come down, we touch the top of the triangle, I'm starting to turn bullish short term. I don't think I was bearish when we were at 180, but I was definitely, that's why I said this isn't a bearish tweet, but expect a pullback to the top of the triangle. I wasn't bearish, it's just more, I wasn't like, let's expect to keep going up. So, but from here, with where we are, we're really in that oversold area. We're at the top of the triangle for support right around 147. I would hope to see a bounce. That's what I would really like to see. It would be perfect. We don't always get what we want. But so let's go over the 4 hour. So if a bounce doesn't happen, I just wanted to point out, because I think it's important, being I'm always talking about buying the dip. We bought the dip here. And that's kind of what we're always anticipating are these dips. So I just want to point out, revisiting this channel here in the 120 to 130 area, huge, heavy buy zone for me personally. That's me. So that's not investment advice. I just want to let you know what I'm doing. Again, dollar cost averaging, I'm always buying. But it kind of is when Litecoin starts dipping, I kind of start putting a little bit more in. That's just the way I do it. Maybe I can do a video on my approach in another video, but I thought I would at least use this to kind of illustrate the way I approach the market right now. So if we broke the bottom of this the top of this triangle and it didn't hold at support, I would obviously start accumulating, and I can definitely try and look for support all in here, but truly the strongest support I see if we do break this triangle is 120, which is basically the bottom of the triangle. So we'll see what happens. I wanted to just throw it out there that the only time I will be concerned is at that 110 and breaking this area and creating a new low down here. That's a long way to go. So let's go back to the daily. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red daily candles in a row. That's a lot. Will it continue? It possibly could. However, right now, all the indicators and where we are, especially being we anticipated this right at the top of the triangle, I could totally see a bounce happening. So, buckle up either way, because if we bounce, I think we're going to bounce, and it could be beautiful bounce, and we might be retesting 180, quickly. And how things can turn around so fast. I mean, just look how quick we went up and look how quick we went down. So just be prepared for anything and everything, and never spend more money than you can afford to lose. But right now, I wouldn't say to be concerned. I wouldn't say to be worried. Obviously, we're down for the last few days. We can actually even look at it from that 180 area to where we are. We're down 20%. So what's cool is we anticipated breaking. We went up 20%, and then we anticipated breaking down another 20%. So if you are a trader, you have a lot of opportunity in this scenario with Litecoin. But I'm not trading Litecoin, so I'm not even going to give that advice. I'm not even going to go down that type of video. But I thought I would do a nice little quick overview on what's going on right now, because I know a lot of you are wondering maybe what I'm thinking or doing. But right now, in terms of being in the oversold area on the daily and even on the weekly, still looking healthy. I think we have a ton of room to grow. We have just kind of a nice setup for a nice run, if you really want to be bullish, to finally break 200. So we'll see what happens. Wanted to throw that out there for you. Let me know your thoughts. What are you doing? How are you handling this? Are you waiting a little longer to see if we break down to buy? Let me know. I'm curious what you're doing and how you're handling this. But I appreciate you watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the channel. As always, I will see you in the next video, and God bless.